Welcome everyone to our Canterbury Trail project update video. In this follow-up session to our focus group discussions, we'll present the status of design and expanded scope of the project. My name is Daniela Quesada with Capital Improvement, and along with my colleagues today and community member representative, we'll be taking you through the design development process city staff undertook in coordination with a focus group comprised of community members.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Cummings. I'm the Neighborhood Association President for Mission Hills. I wanted to let you all know that the Capital Improvement Department staff coordinated several focus group meetings after our initial community meeting, which was held at Mesita. That initial meeting had about 40 to 50 people. They brought maps, they broke us out into smaller groups after their initial presentation, and I feel like everyone got their voice heard at that meeting. We drew some sort of concepts that we liked. We selected trees and paths that we liked. Everything that we asked for, we mostly got in that first meeting from the city staff. The staff eventually scheduled 2 or 3 more meetings with a smaller cohort of folks from the neighborhood, including myself and other members of the neighborhood association. And during that time, we got to actually get down into the details of what this project's going to look like. And I think that the neighborhood's going to be extremely proud of what we've come up with, what the city came up with, and what they asked for and have delivered. We're getting a park that, well, it's not a park, it's a trail that will be the pride of the neighborhood rather than what is there now, which is not much of a source of pride. So what we got through our discussions was a meandering trail that goes down Canterbury along the culvert that will be in a colored asphalt concrete. One of the major things that we should be happy that we got is a pre-manufactured bridge that will cross the culvert around the middle of Canterbury Street. That was something that we were told in the first meeting that would definitely not happen. We persisted, and the city worked hard to find the right type of bridge to add to the project. And so we actually did get that project that will connect the north and south sides of Canterbury Street and connect that neighborhood where they haven't been able to sort of be connected in all these years that culvert has existed. We also requested and received in this design benches and seating areas with shaded tree areas that are be clustered, pet bagging stations and bins, lighting. We really have an exciting tree program with Palo Verdes and an urban orchard. It will be clustered down at the bottom. This urban orchard replaces what would have been a parking lot. We as a group, discussed the idea of a parking lot and the idea that this would be a destination trail, which we all decided it's not. It's a trail for the neighborhood. It's a trail for folks that are maybe visiting the neighborhood and local businesses. They could leave their cars possibly in a parking lot at a neighboring business with the understanding that they've spoken to the businesses and take a trip down our trail, maybe join up with the rest of the mountain trail that you'll hear about later on in this presentation. So we really got to get down into the details of the plants, the shading, the sitting areas, all these things that we are really excited as a neighborhood to unveil to you all. So we're gonna also get, very importantly, some connections with the mountain trail and this trail. The whole idea that we will have trails throughout this community that all connect. This is a big coup that we got this trail to connect the mountain trail, and eventually this trail could connect to other trails that come from other parts of the city. So With that, I'm going to pass it back to Daniela.
Thank you, Chris. As we discussed, we had a real importance of staying within the project budget, and the consultants were able to incorporate the design features requested with the amount that we have to work with. The approved budget is $1.3 million, and the construction budget is just a little under $940,450. The design we'll be presenting today incorporates all of the items discussed previously, and it comes right in budget with enough left for contingency and even a chosen option package. Here's an aerial view with the line work of the proposed design overlaid on it, where you can get a quick general view within the context of neighboring streets and homes, as well as the location of the bridge, tree clusters, and access to the trail.
Hello, my name is Aide Cosme. I'm a project manager with the Capital Improvement Department, and I will go over some design layouts with you. On these next slides, you will see how certain elements have been incorporated into the site plans. The extent of the trail has been broken down into sections starting from Ridgecrest moving east to Stanton, so you can appreciate more in-depth detail along the way. Here you can see the crosswalk added, as well as a gathering space at the beginning of the trail with several components which will be covered in detail later on in this presentation. The project has also incorporated ADA ramps and widening of the sidewalks. On this slide, you can appreciate a trail that meanders throughout, as well as a pedestrian bridge over the canal to allow pedestrians to cross north. This is currently not possible unless you either go all the way to the end of the trail. So we believe it will add a much needed feature into the project. Here you can see the last two portions of the site plan, which include a crosswalk at the end of it to be able to cross Stanton Street, as well as 88 ramps once again on both ends. At the last section of the trail, there is a proposed new crosswalk to cross Stanton to access the arroyo, and a new trailhead marker, which will be only assigned to signal hikers the continuation of the trail into the mountain to connect with already existing trails. Here is the schedule for materials as shown on the following hardscape plans. As you can see, this includes benches, boulders, and other site furnishings, as well as multiple sizes of ground covers to delineate the different spaces. As previously stated, the path is asphalt. However, in the locations of the benches and close to the bridge, the surface is concrete, and you will see on the following slides. This is the first of the four hardscape slides, starting at the westernmost side. You can see the different materials denoted using the different shades of brown, and these help define the edges. This can be seen particularly in the gathering space near the intersection of Canterbury Drive and Wallington Drive. Included in this gathering space are seating areas, crossing paths using screenings, and boulders as well. All three sizes of ground cover can be seen here, which ranges from screenings up to 2 to 4 inch rocks. Working our way east, you can see that the trail now begins to meander slightly in the space with pockets of boulders, which make space for trees as well, which you can see later. And you can see that the two sides of the trail have different rock types also. On this slide, you can also see the bridge, which the crossing area also includes seating as well on the north side of the channel. Continuing east, you can see the trail making its way around the curve, still with very slight meandering. And then finally to the last portion where the trail continues to meander and then meet with the sidewalk. This then includes a crosswalk to cross Stanton, as well as we've mentioned before. You'll have noticed that ground cover was also included on the north side of the channel as well throughout these slides.
The landscape design took the recommendations from the previous focus group and first community meeting, specifically with the type of trees and plant materials proposed. There are mission fig trees and pomegranate trees as part of the proposed urban orchard. There are honey mesquite and desert museum palo verde for visual variety and shade, and small brushes that are mostly blooming shrubs of red, yellow, and violet blooms. The yellow blooms include feathery cassia. Ground covers include yellow ice plant and golden lantana. The red blooms include Breaklight's red yucca and red bird of paradise. And the violet and purple blooms include Lynn's legacy sage and Texas mountain laurel. Starting with the large area, walking paths that lead to a small urban orchard with fruit and shade trees around the benches for continuous shade can be seen. Access to the urban orchard area is from an extension of the sidewalk and paths at the midpoint of the park. The fruit trees, which are pomegranate and figs, are in the center. The palo verdes frame the higher and wider canopy mesquites that line the path adjacent to the channel and provide both a visual and physical barrier. Next, we see the continuation of the path where it enters the half point of the trail, at which time we see the second cluster of mesquites and landscaping, as well as the mid-trail prefabricated pedestrian bridge over the channel that connects both sides. There's landscaping on both sides of the bridge, but also palo verde trees at the north side to provide shade for the seating areas that are provided at either side of the bridge. Past the midsection bridge, we have the third linear cluster of mesquites at the point of where the trail curves and continued 3-foot bollard lighting along the path. These are included throughout the entire path, and at the large urban orchard area, we have pedestrian scaled 10-foot light posts that are being provided instead. This will be detailed at a later slide. The path terminates at Stanton Street after the last of the 4 cluster of trees to an extension of the sidewalk and additional palo verdes to mark the eastern point of entry to the paved trail.
Hello, my name is Javier Gonzalez. I'm a project manager with the Capital Improvements Department. Here you can see the lighting diagram to give you an idea of how well illuminated the entire trail will be. We also included an illustration of a 3-foot pedestrian light that will be used throughout the project. The selected option for this project, if budget allows, as additional amenity is the introduction of large planters along the paved trails, as added landscaping and aesthetics. Also, the focus group determined to get boulders that will get added to the north side of the canal in several locations, which will be coordinated with CID for installation with the project construction.
Hi, my name is Liz Reyes. I'm the CID Division Manager. CID discussed with the El Paso Water additions to the scope of the project in general terms and the sequence of project improvements. The scope of work starting from the west includes removal and replacement of existing concrete flume and removal and replacement of existing rock riprap on site slopes only. Removal and replacement of existing rock riprap on side slopes only, and installation of new concrete flume with diamond plate over new sidewalk. Removal and replacement of concrete flumes. Moving east and up to the channel, scope of work includes new maintenance access ramp and removal and replacement of concrete flume. And at the end of the channel, work includes removal and replacement of existing concrete access ramp, and at Stanton, the removal and replacement of existing concrete flume and removal and replacement of existing mortar rock riprap on the side slope only. If you have any questions about the options or the trail extensions, please contact us through email or feel free to call Project Manager Javier Gonzalez. The design will be completed in the next couple of months and will be shelved until funding is available to begin construction, most likely by September 2021. Thank you.